Hello and welcome to Yoga with Sensual Being. My name is Jolene Whiting and I have a nice little short routine for you today. You can do it at any point in your day and you don't need yoga experience to be able to do this. I'm suggesting that you do it in the morning because it's quite a nice way to wake yourself up. You can go inside and do this, or if the weather's nice, you can come outside. So you can begin seated. I suggest you have a couple of bricks or blocks with you. They don't have to be this, you could use books, or if you've got the wall next to you, you might use the wall just to steady you. Anything around, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to start sitting on a block just because I like my hips to be up a little bit higher. You can sit down on the floor. If you prefer to lay down or stand up, you can also do that. So see how your body feels today. All the moves are an invitation. If anything doesn't sit right with you, do you know what? Don't do it. Your body knows what's okay to do and what's not to do. So we're going to try and tune in so that we can listen to our body and our soul and try and set ourselves up for a good day. So begin sitting, standing, or laying down in a position that's comfortable for you. I invite you to close your eyes, or if that doesn't feel good for you, by all means, you can look down. Just feel your body's connection to the floor. Feel yourself being rooted here into this moment. Bring your awareness to your breathing. And we're going to set the intention together to turn our expectations into appreciation. You can allow your eyes to open or look up when you are ready. We're going to take a deep breath in, stretch the arms up high. Breathe out as you bring your hands down to heart center. Breathe in, reaching up. Breathe out, hands to heart center. Couple more, linking the body with the breath. And then from here, bringing your hands onto your lap or by your side, it's up to you. We're just going to gently ease the neck side to side. We're not trying to force it. We're just trying to loosen off the neck. Think about keeping your shoulders nice and still. And then we're going to go up and down. So keeping the mouth closed. As you bring the chin up, we'll get a little bit more stretch down the front of your neck. And then from here, we're going to sweep up and tilt over to your right, through the center, over to the left. See if you can breathe in as you bring the arm up and breathe out as you tilt over. So any moves we can do in yoga which can link the body to the breath means that we create that connection. So when people say listen to your body, this helps you to tune in to see what that actually means. And then from here, we're going to lift up through the chest so we're not slumped, and we're going to twist our body just gently to the right, and then breathe in as you switch and go to the left. If at any time you're not breathing at the right point that I've just said, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just go back to breathing however you want to breathe. Go for one more. And then from here, we're going to go onto all fours. So if you were sitting on a block, please do move it now. So from here, we're going to go into some cow and cat. So we want knees underneath your hips, feet pressing into the floor, fingers spread out nice and wide. If you prefer, you can come up and make a fist and do that instead. So from here, we're going to drop the belly as we breathe in, shoulders pull back, looking forwards. Then we're going to breathe out and we're going to tuck the hips under. So we're going to breathe in as you drop the belly down, shoulders pull back, look forward if you can, don't worry if you can't. As you breathe out, we're going to tuck the hips under, so we're really pushing up through the arms and look through your knees. Again, another great one, linking the body to the breath, connecting into ourselves, allowing space to go for gentle moves, particularly if you are doing this in the morning. And then from here, we're going to sit back into child's pose. So your knees can be narrow, they can be as wide as the mat, or if you feel uncomfy there, by all means sit on a block as you sit back, but it's really up to you. What I wanted to do here was just take the pressure off the wrist, so turn your hands up and give your fingers a wiggle and let your body rock side to side. Because we're going to go back onto all fours again. If you want to stay in child's pose longer, by all means feel free to pause the video. So from here, onto all fours. Remember, it's up to you if you want to make fists. You can do that if you want to. So from here, we are going to bring one arm out, bring it back down, and then bring the other side forwards. From here, keep both hands down. We're going to reach one leg back. I want you to keep the foot flexed, so we lengthen down the back of the body. Bring the knee down. Then we're going to take the other leg back. Lengthen through the back of the body. So either you can repeat that all one at a time, or we can go for opposites. So bringing your right hand forward and your left leg back. Think about drawing up, switching to the other side, drawing up with your abs. So just a little light tense will help you actually stay balanced. So shifting the weight, really take your time before you extend out on each side. So I want you to try and work with finding the balance. You're going to have to shift the weight. And it's not about bringing the leg up as high as you can. We're not going for this, which is arching the back, lifting the leg. I want you to think about keeping your back flat, lengthening away with the fingertips and away with the heel of the foot. So rather than doing pointy toes for this one, we want the foot flexed, and I've got my palm facing inwards. Let's do one more each side. Once you've done that, sit back, take another child's pose, stretch out through the arms. This time, creep the hands forwards just a little bit as you sit back. You can allow the head to drop. If you want to rock the body side to side, you can do that. Just allow a little bit of movement into your body. So if you've got bricks handy, grab them now. If you haven't, you can always lean against a wall, or your legs might be happy with this and you might be able to put your hands on the floor. It's really up to you, or you can just balance with it. I quite like using the bricks for this one. So we're going to bring the right leg forwards first, and we've got the left knee back. So I'm going to invite this leg a little bit further forward so that as I go into a lunge, my knee is pretty much in line with the ankle. So I'm trying not to go for this because of the sort of stretch that I want to achieve. So just invite the leg forwards. I'm using my bricks. Now I'm going to be walking with them, yeah? So I'm going to be pressing my hip forward, squeezing my glute and pushing forwards. shoulders pulled back. Then from here, I'm going to switch it and go the opposite way. So I'm going to bring the toes up and sit back. So you notice I brought my bricks back with me because I'm trying to keep my back flat. So I'm trying to stay like this instead of like this. Yeah? So we're going to do that again. So we're going to press forwards, hips forwards, draw the right hip back. So we're trying to square forwards. Then from here, walk yourself back, toes up. Keep that back as flat as you can. Now, if you've got your hands on the floor and you're not doing this, yeah, it's fine. If you're up higher than me and you're like this on a wall leaning, that's fine too. So it's finding where your balance points are. So we're going to work the breath into this move as well. So I want you to go for, are we ready? We're going to breathe in as we press forwards. Breathe out as we sit back. Go for a couple more here. Now, if you're on blocks or the wall, I suggest putting your hands on the floor because we're going to switch the legs to the other side. So this time we're going to have the left leg forward. Don't worry if you've got right and left muddled up, don't worry. Just as long as you're switching sides. So if you feel a bit wobbly when you switch, just take the knees a bit wider just to make sure you've got a wide enough base to actually do this. Again, have a little check, make sure that knee is quite happy over the ankle rather than skimming forward with our heel up. So we just want to invite the leg further forward if you need to. Hands on your bricks or wherever you had them before. We're going to breathe in as we press forwards, feeling a little stretch in your hip flexors. From here, we're taking the stretch back and into the hamstrings. So if you've got left leg forward, when you press forward for hip flexor stretch, that's feeling it at the top of the leg on your right hand side, yeah, right at the front. And then when we draw back, we are getting the stretch down your hamstrings, which is behind the thigh on the straight leg. So breathe in as we press forwards. Breathe out as we rock back. Let's go for a couple more here. Make this your last one if you're still with me. Now from here, lose the bricks. Just make sure they're out of your way. I'm going to take this leg back. We're going to take a last child's pose on the floor and then we're going to work our way up to standing. So come on to all fours. If you prefer to just stand up, you can. We're going to work up at the moment into downward dog. So tuck the toes under, but I want you to go for about a quarter way. So lift the knees a bit, push back with the arms so your knees raise up, then come back to all fours, release the toes, then do it again. This time, let's get a little bit higher. So allow the hips to come up, but I want you to keep your knees bent. Then bring the knees back down. Release the toes. This time we're aiming for that again, or up as high as you can go. So let's just see what happens. It could be your first downward dog of the day. Walk your heels out a little bit. So just get a little bit of length down the back of the legs. From here, I want you to bend both knees and sit back a bit further, just so we get a bit more stretch. You might find your head gets closer to the floor. And then from here, let's either walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. I'm going to go half and half. We'll hang forward in a ragdoll. So ragdoll, elbow to elbow, holding on. Keep your knees bent and I want you to flop the body. Let it rock. You might feel your lower back easing off a little bit here. It's a lovely stretch to do for your lower back. As long as you got your knees bent, leaning forward, you capture your lower back. And now we're going to roll up gently. So I want you to keep your knees bent, release the arms, and I want you to think about rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, bone by bone in your back. When you're standing, take a deep breath, reach up, breathe out. And again, breathe in, breathe out, hands down. So we're going to work a little bit into the chest now, just to really open out through the body. So feet roughly about hip width apart, how they work for you. We are going to be opening out with the chest. Think about you're waiting for a hug, and then you're going to close in. So as you close in, allow the knees to bend. I'm turning my hands so that they come inwards. So it just gets more stretch down the arms as well. So try and see if you can breathe in as you open the arms, and then breathe out as you close in. Breathe in as you open. Breathe out as you close. Make this your last one. And then from here, we're just going to do one more move. So we're going to go for 360 roll downs. So we're going to start with a central one first. I want you to bend your knees. Keep your feet roughly about hip width apart. We're going to reach up, and then we're going to tuck in and come down. So I'm coming down very central here. I'm keeping my knees bent all the way. I'm just turning to show you. And then come back up. Still keeping my knees bent. But to take it into a 360, once you're up, we need to turn the body to one side, bend the knees, and we're going to trace down the side of the body. When you get to the bottom, we're going to cut across the center, then we're going to come up the other side. I want you to focus on keeping your knees bent when you're coming down and up, because this is another one to get into your lower back. And because we're making it a 360, we get into your QL, which is the side, lower side of your back. So on the next one, when you come up, I want you to stay to that side, and then we're going to come straight back down. So we're going to go the other way. And don't worry if you're going a different way to me, because these can be a little bit confusing to start. I didn't want to give you a right and left, because I didn't know where you might end up. Give this just one more round. It's hard to use the breathing with this because you run out of breath part way. Come to the center. Let's go for one more central one just to close that off. Bringing yourself back up, holding it here. We're going to take a deep breath in with the arms, stretch them up. Hands together into heart space as you breathe out. Go for that again. This time we're going to breathe in through the nose as we come up, out through the mouth. Let's do one of those again together. Breathe in as you reach up. Out through the mouth, let go. Holding it here. Palms touching. Eyes can be closed or look down. Bring our focus and awareness into this moment. Feeling our connection to the floor, to the ground, to the earth. Take comfort in knowing you are right where you are supposed to be. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Remember to lead through your life with your heart and to live with intention. Namaste.